Alright guys, we have a brand new Monday and new comics be dropping every week, so here they are. Stay tuned. Welcome back, Gainers, to another incredible, exciting, fantastic episode of ComicGains! And if you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess Her Royal Highness, looking very lovely today, doing that princess way. So do it too. Bow down, respect, and Coco's in Adam's lap. You may not be able to see her, but she's there. Oh, there she is.
There she is. There she is. Alright guys, so we're back on this glorious Monday that it is, and yeah, I hope everyone had a good weekend. You know, Black Panther's dropped, and no spoilers, but we saw it, and I think we all give it, 3 thumbs up and a paw? 3 thumbs, Coco gave it a paw up.
Bear claw.
Yeah, so no spoilers though, but you can always leave a comment down below. Well, don't spoil any comments down below.
Don't spoil.
Yeah.
Not for at least another week.
But on today's show, we have a brand new drop list for you. So if you're new to the drop list, the Gains crew scours the internet for hot lists, trending lists, any kind of lists out there that basically are telling you that these books time to buy because the speculation's high, all these things are going on, it's a good idea to get them. Well, we wait a year later, and then we look at those lists. And then we make a decision whether or not it's a good idea to buy those books based off a year later. So, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're really bad.
Really bad.
And Zach will give you his professional opinion on it. But yeah, before we get into that though, Zach will also give you his professional opinion on...
Yes, a drink right here. This is muscle milk. Adam says this is really good. This is a chocolate,
I like muscle milk.
protein, non-dairy shake. So if you don't like dairy, it's not going to give you the craps.
You don't get the milk.
Or dairy free or what's it called?
Lactate.
I don't know. Your stomach doesn't like it, so you upset your stomach. You don't feel good about it, so this won't do that to you. Trying to think of the word. Alright, it says shake well. You gotta shake it. Okay, let's get into
I'm gonna go rogue and not shake it.
Dude, it's just like, getting in the lunchroom cafeteria at school. Just like that little thing of milk, you pop it over and take a drink. And they say there's like no sugar. No sugar in it at all. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. How do they do it? Crazy. That's delicious.
Right?
I need to buy some more of that.
I know, it's pretty solid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty solid stuff. And then also, guys, don't forget, if you are new to Whatnot, you can actually sign up using our code down below listed under there, and you get $15 for your first purchase. So it's pretty cool. And also, you kind of help support the show as well. It's a very cool place where you can buy comics, usually for a good deal. We actually have 2 separate shows as well. ComicGains has a show where you get to see Adam and Zach, and if you've always been wanting to hear the princess talk for over an hour, you can visit the princess's show at Princess of Gains, and the code will help you get that $15 off your first purchase. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool place to get some books on the cheap.
Great deal.
Yeah, I would recommend it. I would recommend it. All right, guys, let's get into this drop list because that's what we all came here for on this Monday. So we will start off this list with Strange Tales 179, and actually
we don't have
this is the only book on the list we don't have. We should have this book, but it came out in 1979, and it's actually written and drawn both by Jim Starlin, which is pretty cool. He did a lot of those like cosmic storylines back then, like Warlock and Thanos and all that stuff, and he liked to draw and write the story, which is really cool, really, really exciting. But this is an important book because it is first appearance of Pip the Troll. Pip the Troll, which is a pretty cool character, and actually this is really close to the end of the run. I think 181 is like the last book of the series or something like that. Strange Tales, like pretty close.
Pretty close.
Before it switches over to Warlock, basically. I think kind of switches over to his storyline. But this book was obviously getting hot because we all kind of got a inkling at the end of Eternals we were going to see Pip the Troll, and it got played by Patton Oswalt, which we got a little glimpse, and I think it was good. I mean, I love Patton Oswalt. He's pretty much golden in everything he does. Mm-hmm. People were expecting him to play MODOK at a certain point, and actually, he's the voice of MODOK in the cartoon. And then he actually wrote the comic book, MODOK Headspace or Head Games. He actually wrote that comic book.
I've heard it's a good story.
Yeah,
really good story.
I knew him all the way back from King of Queens. He was in that TV show King of Queens, which is cool. So just an exciting guy all around. I hope they do more with this character going forward. I know Eternals wasn't as good as everyone thought it was, but I think there's a lot of room for him. I mean, in the comics, he's part of the Infinity Watch, which I don't know if we'll get that same aspect because it kind of needed to happen right after Thanos. But you never know. Anything could happen. And he's a cool character. More importantly, though, this book has dropped a little bit. So with that old spec, there's always room for new spec. Right, Zach?
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe, I actually didn't write down the grade. Oh, it was an 8.0. I believe in an 8.0, sales a year ago for 8.0 was $384 to now $169. And the range is $161.01 to $399. Average is $292.71. So it's dropped more than in half, at least for this grade. There's not a constant sales up in high grades. That's kind of interesting. Pit Patrol, fun character, has his place in Marvel history. I just don't think it's that big of a character. He doesn't have great powers. I mean, he gets the stone and he has the stone powers.
I don't know what his powers are altogether.
Maybe
if you guys know Pit Patrol's powers, leave it down in a comment down below. That'd be interesting. I would love to learn more about Pit Patrol's powers from
absolutely.
you guys, the community.
I know it's not anything crazy. I mean, you got Star. Yeah, what they showed off two characters. They showed off Star Fox.
Eros, yeah.
Eros,
yeah.
And he has some interesting powers, a little controversial powers.
Persuasion, perhaps.
Something like that. Yeah. I would say this is for get it in like if you like Strange Tales, get this book, and this is the key, and it's not too expensive, so not too bad at all. Long-term spec. I don't think there's a long-term spec on this book.
Maybe.
But it's not going to go down much more in price. It's going to have a constant gains. So it's not a bad investment at all.
Yeah.
And if you want to complete the run, you have to get this book.
That is true. All right. Next on our list here is Naomi, number 1. And I know we've talked about this many times before, but it's ended on our drop list. This came out in 2019. We got a nice DC book on our drop list too. But this is done by Jamal Campbell did the artwork, and the great Brian Michael Bendis wrote this story. And this book is first appearance of Naomi. There's a lot of other characters and like her parents and some other people are first appearances, but she's the main reason. And this book got hot. CW decided to create a TV show on Naomi, which we've seen a little bit of it. I know it started out a little bit strong and then turned into a CW TV show and then got the axe like everything else got the axe. It's a great story. I have read the whole story, and I think we kind of got into the speculation before reading it, and the show came out before I read the story. Then I read it. I kind of was surprised they did a TV show on it, because if you've read the first 6 issues, it doesn't feel like a very complete story. It's almost kind of like leading up to understanding who she is. Then they're like, okay, that's who she is, and then the story ends. And now they've done the second arc, which even gives you a little bit more about her background of her real family, biological family. Their other families are real family too. But her biological family, then that kind of cut off, and they haven't even finished. So it's kind of weird that they would even do a TV show without any groundwork to go off of. At least in my opinion, they should wait a while before they even do anything else on this at all, before it finishes. We need to know where Naomi goes, before you kind of do anything on it. So great story, great book. I don't think it's a dead spec because the DCU is switching up. Everything's changing, so there's no reason they couldn't bring her back in a whole different aspect. But Zach will give you more information, because this is we have every book in a 9/8?
Yeah.
All 6 of the original issues?
Yeah, I mean, 1 or 2 of them are the second print ones. I'm planning on getting the rest of them, but I'll get into that.
That's neither here nor there.
So in a CGC 9.8, it sells a year ago was $219.99. Now it's $161.34. So it didn't drop that much from then to now, but it dropped quite a bit in the middle. And the range is $46 for a 9.8 to as high as $350.
I should have bought one.
I mean, geez. Average is $134.63. The problem, like Adam said, is that they kind of didn't really jump into the character as fast as they should have. Well, you're saying it was a lot of story building. There wasn't enough for them to make a good TV show.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I mean, the story's amazing. I just thought you don't have enough to go on to do a whole season of stories,
But the character is interesting. Yeah. She has great powers and all that. So if they would have done something like, hey, DC gets their act together, like James Gunn James Gunn's gonna do. You bring her into one of the movies like randomly, and they're like, "Who is Naomi? What is Naomi?" And then you bring in the TV show, and you do that how she got her powers or who she is.
That'd be cool.
If you had a BA character in the movies, like what's going on? I need to know more, and then we tell you more off of a show we already made, maybe.
It's like 6 episodes.
There's
long.
6 episodes
It
long.
doesn't need to
like
be 20 episodes.
Yeah. Oh, is the TV show 20?
I don't know. I mean, if CW has got to be at least 15, right?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Or more than that.
I mean, for this price, it's not a bad pickup. There's a convention version of this. Only thing different is it has a purple name instead of a white name on the very top, and it's limited to like less than 1,000. I'm looking for one right now. I think you should buy that for sure. Even if this character goes nowhere, that one probably will at least gain some more value over time because there's so limited amount of those. I don't think Naomi's out of the run, but it's kind of like the show kind of killed a little bit. But she could come back. So if you pick up an issue, I don't think anybody's going to be mad about you for that.
Nope.
I think that I won't be.
It's a beloved story.
It's a beloved story.
Beloved story. Okay. Next up, here we go. We got Moon Knight Goodness, number 188 from 2018. And this always confused me a little bit because this actually connects off of the original run, I believe. Like in the numbers, like it actually goes off.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like it doesn't go off the third run. It actually goes off like the first.
The total, right?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like it's almost like they added into like the legacy story or something. But this is done by Jace Burrows and Max Bemis. And this book is interesting to say the least. It was very, very, very expensive for a minute, just like a bunch of books that were leading up to the Moon Knight TV show. But this is first appearance of the Sun King, who's the avatar of Ra. And you had Ethan Hawke's character, and we got to see a nice preview of him for the Moon Knight story. And everyone's like, oh my God, who's he going to be? And then you had like Dr. Harrow, which was that character from the Moon Knight Series 2, issue 2 or whatever, that everyone was thinking it was going to be him. Then they're like, he looks like the Sun Kings, and both of those books got really, really expensive. And then he turned out to be neither character, really. He had that one guy's name, but he wasn't really that character. He was like an avatar for the crocodile god.
Yeah.
So both of those books took a big, big dive. But overall, I think a lot of people like the Sun King as a character. It doesn't necessarily even had to have been in a show to be a cool character. So still a good book, not nearly as expensive as it was. I think it was even hitting heights of like $100 raw for a little while. You know, it's definitely a lot lower, and I'm sure Zach will give you some updates on that. But be on the lookout. There's a 1 in 25 that's done by Daniel Warren Johnson that's pretty cool looking. And I actually personally think the second print and the lenticular that are both homages to the Bill Sienkiewicz issue number 25 are both good books to look out for. That lenticular goes for cheap for some reason, and it's really is his first appearance. And for some reason, I feel like nobody knows what the print runs are on those weird lenticular books. That's what the three of us think. That I've never
really
seen
low.
anybody say print runs
so.
on those lenticulars.
I think they're really low.
Yeah, but I don't know, Zach. How do you feel about the Sun King speculation?
I think it's a buy. And the reason why it's a buy is sales a year ago was $257. Now it's $74.94. Less than $100 for 9.8 is usually not a bad thing. You know, for a buy if it's a key. Range is $47.03 to as high as $550.
I know, it was really expensive.
$550.
I thought it was like out of my price range for a while. I was like, that book in number 3, was it? Moon Knight number 3 was really expensive too.
Yeah. Now it's cheap. Average is $148.45. I would say this is a buy. If you can get it for a $47 mark, I would say buy as many as you can. $74.95. Buy a couple. Buy one at least. I would say it would be a smart thing. Oh yeah, it's a great character.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely don't think it's like a dead spec. It's like an accidental spec. And, you know, there's a good chance they could end up using the Sun King later on, like in the TV show. I mean, there was a lot to do with the avatars, so I kind of doubt when they bring Moon Knight back, there's not going to be any more avatars. Let's go a completely different route, and let's talk about the Ultimate Universe, right? So we have Ultimate Fantastic Four, number 22 from 2005. And this is a great, great book as well. You got Greg Land actually doing the artwork on this story, and Mark Millar doing the story, which is a great group. The more I learn about these Ultimate books, they actually have some really great combinations of drawing and writing together. I didn't even realize that that they were doing that kind of stuff. It's almost like the covers don't give these justice.
No,
You know, I'm looking inside, I'm like, a lot of the Spider-Man books, the covers aren't that good. When you look inside, like the Bagley artwork is crazy good. So sometimes might need a second look. But this book is important because it is the first full appearance of the Marvel Zombies, which is really cool and got really popular a year ago. You got the What If Disney Plus TV show coming out. We got a whole zombie episode, and everyone's trying to figure out what's the first appearance of zombies. It doesn't really like connect all that well. Like it's the same zombies, but everyone wants to know what zombies came out of this, and people liked it so much. There's now even got a teaser that they're going to have a solo zombie like TV show, which I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm excited. You know, you can't go wrong with zombies. Like small doses of zombies.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want like 12 seasons of zombies. You know, Walking Dead. You know, those kind of
definitely can't do that for Marvel.
You know, but you know how that goes. Other cool thing about this is there's actually a lot of good keys in Ultimate Fantastic Four as well. I mean, you've got number 21 is the cameo of the zombies, and you have number 30 is the first cover appearance of the zombies. So a lot of cool stuff in there. I don't think it's gone up and down a little bit. I don't think it's quite out as a dead spec yet, but Zach will give you more information because it was kind of expensive, especially for an Ultimate Comics book, you know, and not a Spider-Man Ultimate Comics book.
So interesting enough, there wasn't enough information on the 9.8, so I had to go for the 9.6. So I did not look at the print run on the 9.8, but for some reason people are not selling 9.8s, they're hoarding them, which is probably not a bad thing. It gives you kind of an idea of what to go after sometimes. So prices a year ago was $189 for 9.6, and now it's $61 for when they actually sell. So screaming deal. Range is $58.73, $249. Average is $150.63. I think the $61 is a great deal. I think they're gonna do the story justice. I think they're gonna add stuff in every once in a while with Marvel Zombies. So this is not going anywhere. This is a fantastic buy right now. So get those gains.
Yeah, I think a lot of the might be hard with the 90s. A lot of those Ultimate books have like a weird kind of cover to them that are, once you get that tick or anything on it, they're kind of done. Like you can't really press those that well. It's interesting. So that might kind of limit you on how high the grades can get.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Plus, a lot of people didn't give these books respect until recently. You know, so you kind of got them in like all the Ultimate books kind of went in the dollar bin. They're kind of, I'm starting to be one of my favorite. Okay. Next up, and this is a nice way to finish out the show, since we did get to see Black Panther this weekend, and we got Avengers number 62 from 1969, and this is John Buscema and Roy Thomas doing the greatness on this book. Awesome cover. But this is the first appearance of M'Baka, the leader of the White Gorilla Cult, and might be lesser known, but it is first appearance of W'Kabi, who is the second in command to T'Challa, which I don't think we've seen yet in the movie, unless I'm wrong. Sometimes they see the characters and they don't get the names. I didn't see the actual character in the movie, but this book obviously got a ton of speculation with everyone kind of guessing where the Black Panther mantle is going to go to. Was it going to go to M'Baka? Was it going to go to Shuri? Was it going to go to some other character? Without any spoilers, I mean, people I think I already kind of know from the trailers, but in case you didn't want to see the trailer, you want to see a trailer spoiler free, we won't tell you what happened, but it definitely dropped since then, you know, because people kind of understood what was going on. On a side note, it's kind of cool, there is Jungle Action 5, which is a reprint of this book, but it is also the first solo title for Black Panther, and for a while these books were pretty even in price. The Avengers 62 is much more expensive now, almost double the price of the Jungle Action 5, so it's pretty cool. And overall, I think Winston Duke, who's the actor who played M'Baka, definitely a show stealer for me. He did it's great in the first one, even better. I think even in this one, did an even better job. If anybody did a better job than the first one, the first movie was him in this movie, which was really cool. So I think overall, though, a lot of the books that were attached to Wakanda Forever have a lot of room to grow. I don't think any of the books people were specking on should be going down. They should almost be going up after that movie. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So Zach will give you more info on this one, though, whether it's a good time to pick it up. So I'm trying to get one of these too.
So in a CGC 9.2, it's sold for a year ago $1,199.99.
Ooh, so close.
To $456 now. Range is $456 for 9.2 range, and then Now it's $1,999.99, or whatever. Average is $792.83, so it's under half. It's well under half. I think this is a character that's also going to stay very, like a very regular character in a lot of shows. I think people really like this character, really like this actor. I mean, it's probably going to be limited to shows around. It's not going to be in every single movie, but it's probably going to be in every other movie, I think. I think they should incorporate this character a lot more, the actor, into a lot more other movies, to be honest. And they should. So $456 for a 9.2 of this caliber of book is not a bad deal, considering it should be worth thousands.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's kind of one of those characters that's kind of similar to Red Guardian a little bit, where he's actually cooler because of the MCU and less because of his actual role in the comics. Like, he doesn't even really even become like a good guy in the comics until like 2021. They like rewrite him as like a good character.
He's like a villain.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like barely in the comics, And all of a sudden they're like, everyone's like, okay, I really like this character in the movie. Like, we better keep writing him. Like Red Guardian's like a nobody in the comics compared to the movies.
Yeah,
kind of similar.
Actor actually
killed it. Yeah, the actors actually did a better job, made the character even cooler. So very exciting. I don't know, Zach, what was your overall your book to get this week?
I would say the Ultimate FF22 would be a fantastic pickup just because of the price. Everything is very affordable.
Yeah.
Pretty much the most affordable book on here with a lot of legs. My number 2 probably would be Avengers 62. Moon Knight seems kind of interesting too because you can get 9A for just $75. But I would say the cheap good buy would be Ultimate Fantastic Four 22, and probably if you want to spend a little extra money, Avengers 62 probably wouldn't be a horrible pickup either.
Nice. Good. I like it. I concur with this arrangement. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the show for today. And if you like hearing these drop lists as much as we like delivering them, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button. Then you got to hit the like button. Then you got to hit the notification bell, because we like to go live on Wednesday, and actually, you guys must be hitting that notification bell because more and more of you show up each week, and it's exciting. It's fun. We're just blasting open mystery boxes on Wednesday. We get to hear you guys live, talk to us, tell us what you think. We share New Comic Book Day. We talk about stories. We talk about life. We get deep. All those good stuff. It's fun and exciting. And the other thing you could do is leave a comment down below. Try not to do any spoilers, though, for Black Panther. We'll maybe get into some spoilers maybe a month from now. We'll give it a month, right? A month is fair enough.
Oh, fantastic.
And we'll talk more about it. All right. Anything else, Zach?
Yeah, sure. How you do that is, one, you have to be a dude in the 90s. You're a little off your rocker because something happened to you when you're a kid. And, you do a lot of bad stuff, and then you die. But then right before you die, you put your soul into a doll that's like somehow gets packaged up from one of those scenes. It doesn't make any sense if you think about it. Maybe I need to rewatch the movie or the movies. And something that should have been kind of like a slightly scary movie with maybe a small cult following turns out to be a big freaking deal. It's like everybody loves that movie. I just tolerate it, and that's it. He becomes Charles E. Ray, aka Chucky. And yeah, it's crazy. If you look at how much stuff people put into this movie, it's insane. This should have been a one and done movie. There's like 12 movies now, feel like it, and there's 2 TV shows.
And remakes and stuff.
There's
even one where he's like a weird CGC doll kid or something, right?
Yeah.
We don't talk about it. Yeah, or
CGC. They slap him, and he tries to kill you, but
there's too many
slap won't.
All right, guys. We'll let you go. And until we see you next time, remember to stay safe and
get those child play games.
Wait, don't do that.
Don't do that. No. That's what the movie was called.
Oh, okay. Get them.
Those Chucky games. Get those Chucky games.